What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live stream. Another stream out here in the woods. I think I have access to the chat this time. Hope for the best. Hope everyone's doing well on this wealthy Wednesday afternoon. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, and achieving their goals. Last time I did a live stream, which was the first time in probably over a year, I failed to put Q&A in the title. So I included it this time, hoping that we get some Q&A questions. But at the moment, I just finished filming a whole bunch of videos. I think I filmed, I did do 2 camping related videos and 2, maybe 3. Oh, it was 5. 2 camping videos, a silver video, a saving video, and an improving your physical, mental, and financial well-being type of video. So I just wrapped up those 5 videos. Figured I had a little bit of time. Let's do a live Q&A. Last time I did a live stream, it was spur of the moment. Didn't really expect to be going live. Didn't promote that I was going live. I just went live and I didn't put Q&A in the title, so we weren't really getting any questions. But hopefully we do this time around so that I can do live streams somewhat more regularly. If the live streams are just gonna, end up being kind of dead, then I just won't do them. But hopefully we get some people in the chat today. Hopefully we get some questions in the chat. And in the meantime, I'm just out here in the woods, taking a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. I will be getting up and moving again, filming and creating. So let's see. Did you spend part of the $178? Nope, I got it all in my pocket. Don't even recall if it's $178 because I screenshot 4 of your comments because you miscounted all 4 times. One time was 186, one time was 184, one time was 172, one time was 176 or something like that. I thought that was funny. I was like, oh man, the same wad of cash in every video, and he's miscounted it 3 out of 4 times. Thought that was funny. But no, I did not spend it. I have it right here. We can count it right now, actually. I need to remember off the top of my head. I have a, 100, 150, 170, 180, 85, 86, 87, 88, 188. And I dropped the single. For the longest time, I had this, I've had this same small stack of currency for I don't even know how many years. I recently added the $2 bill. The $2 bill was never part of the equation up until, probably less than a year ago. The $2 bills? Nah. I have a crazy amount of $2 bills. I have, I don't even remember, but I have a video. It's on my channel counting all of my $2 bills. And I'm doing my live stream from my phone, so I can't check. Hang on, let me readjust this. Also, I have the silver Kraken in my pocket as well, which I will remove, put that in my bag. I made a video about the silver Kraken today. Let me set that down. Let me get myself situated here, take a sip of water, and we'll get moving again. The last 4 hours on my feet in the heat out here filming. enjoying my day off, enjoying what I would imagine financial freedom feels like. Time freedom. All right. As one of my coworkers would say, let's get this show on the road. Load it up, let's get this show on the road. All right, so the title of this live stream is, I think it's Live Q&A in the Woods. So if anybody has any questions for me, feel free, sound off in the comments. Ideally, money-related questions, but they could be other types of questions as well. I just got done filming like a 50-minute video talking about all of the all the benefits that I could think of when it comes to improving your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and your financial well-being. If you become a happier, healthier individual while increasing your income, I think your quality of life, will skyrocket. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a financial question. It could be a physical question or a mental well-being question as well, or something else. I've gotten comments in the past from people that were going through things in their personal lives and just simply wondering what I would do if I were in their situation. So if you have any questions like that, those are cool as well. Oh, look at that. Another place to sit. A bad habit of mine is I always come out here fasted. I come out here on an empty stomach. I wake up, I drink something, and I head out the door. And then I lose track of time, and all of a sudden 3, 4, 5, 6 hours go by, and I'm out here in the heat that entire time without a snack. So usually by the time I'm filming the list of videos that I decided I wanted to film that day, I'm starving, which is pretty much where I'm at right now. All right, let's get some questions in the chat. A couple people are tuning in. If you can hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. Want to even say hello in the chat, I'd appreciate that as well. Don't know exactly who's there. So far, just one person in the chat, which I will be coming back to because there's something that I want to say, but I'm going to hold off for a couple minutes. Let's see. Yeah, I got to start remembering to toss a protein bag a protein bar in the bag when I come and do this. Got water. Good on water. I just need sustenance. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. At least I have access to the chat this time. I don't know what was going wrong last time. I couldn't scroll up and see older comments in the chat. I couldn't see anything. It would pop up on screen. Somebody would say something. It would disappear after a couple seconds, and then it wouldn't let me scroll back up to see it. I couldn't access the chats that had disappeared. It's frustrating, but looks like I can scroll up this time. I don't know if we'll stumble upon any today. Haven't seen too many, so maybe one or two. Might come across some deer out here. Usually I see a lot more. Didn't see many today. I saw like maybe 2. Usually they're all over the place. Isn't this nice, though? Nice break from the world. All the noise in the world and all the negative people and the stress. That's what I like about coming out here. All right, time to get moving again. Not stopping until I'm on that one high point. It's almost like a little tucked away section. There's a deck. You can look down at the trail. There's a bench up there. I'll walk over there. And hopefully we get some Q&A questions on this short walk. And the good thing about being out here is barely anybody walks this trail. Every once in a while, you'll see someone walking or a couple or someone walking their dog or whatever. One time, there was like a small group of, they were young. I don't even think that they were teenagers yet. Maybe like 12-year-olds or something. They came through on their bikes, which was cool to see. You don't really see a whole lot of kids outdoors anymore. So anytime I do, I'm like, hey. I remember doing that. I remember being 12 and actually getting some fresh air. Here we are. Up top over here, can look down at the trail. It's the bench. Carl, welcome aboard. I was never inside when I was a kid. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Long time no see. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I practically grew up in a tree. Always outside. If I needed to go somewhere, I would ride my bike. If I wasn't biking, I was skateboarding. If I wasn't skateboarding, I was playing basketball. I was lucky to have grown up in a neighborhood that had, we didn't have a lot of kids in my neighborhood, actually. We had, maybe, I can't even remember, 3 houses down. On my side of the road, there was a kid named Charles. Right across the street from his house, there was a kid named Eric. And right around the corner from my house, there were 2 brothers. And for the most part, that was kind of it. Now, the neighborhood next to ours, there were a few more. So sometimes we would, round up our crew and meet up with their crew and, play some football or whatever. Played a lot of, what's it called? Manhunt at night. If anybody knows. Hey, let me know in the chat. Does anybody here know what Manhunt is, the game? It's like basically a game of tag, but at night in the dark with like flashlights and stuff. You run around the neighborhood and it was cool, man. We played a lot of that. A lot of Manhunt, a lot of basketball, a lot of skateboarding. Not a whole lot of street hockey. Tried that a couple times. Some kickball if we had enough people. Baseball time to time. Basketball was kind of our go-to. Because you only need 2 people to play a game of basketball, like one-on-one. Honestly, all you need is yourself. Just shoot hoops or whatever. Baseball, you're probably going to need at least 2 people, ideally 3 or more, and ideally like 7, 8, or 9. But yeah, as a kid, I spent a tremendous amount of time outside, and not much has changed. I'm out here for, I think, going on 5 hours now. Been live for about 15 minutes. But yeah, anytime I see kids outside playing, I'm like, Good. I'm glad they're doing that. I'm in UK. Manhunt for me was a little like tag, but any time of day. Yeah, what, maybe tag was the wrong word to use. It was like, the best way I can describe Manhunt, and I don't even know if there's a specific way of playing Manhunt, it's just the way that we did. It was at night, it was in the dark, it was outside in the neighborhood, and it was like a combination of like pitch black, hide and seek tag, and all we had were flashlights. It was friggin' awesome, man. Honestly, I would do that now. If I could round up a group of friends that are ridiculous enough to play Manhunt today, I would 100% play a game of Manhunt. That sounds fun, actually. That'd be freaking cool. I'm just sitting back down because somebody's walking the trail. I don't know if I just see a red or orange shirt. Just one person. I don't know if they have a dog with them or anything, but I just know that. Yep, guy walking his dog. I try to be mindful. Not everybody likes having a camera pointed at them. I don't even like having a camera pointed at me, which is why I point it away from me. A lot of people don't really appreciate that, and I can respect that. So yeah, if the guy holding the camera doesn't even want to be on camera, it probably isn't appropriate for me to put other people on camera. So I try to point the camera down if I see people coming. All right, let's see. So yeah, whoever's watching, if you can hit the like button, I don't know if that'll help boost the stream. If this is just going to be like a mundane, waiting around for questions type of thing, I'll end it. But if a couple people start tuning in, we can get this live Q&A popped off a little bit more. There was someone in the chat earlier who I have some questions for. I don't know if he's even still here, but I wanted to save the questions that I have for a little bit deeper in the stream. I got me a new pair of Crocs recently. I was always morally against Crocs because I was like, those are the stupidest looking freaking things on the planet. And my sister and I, before she moved down south a couple years, maybe like 2 years ago, so I think it was the summer before she moved, so about 3 years ago, we were somewhere. We were in a store, and they had Crocs for sale. And just to be ridiculous, I tried them on, and I was just like, I underestimated how friggin' comfortable these things are. Crocs, as stupid as they look, little friggin' rubber shoes or whatever they are with the little holes in them, they look so stupid. But they're so friggin' comfortable. And as a 4th of July present that year, she got me a pair of red, white, and blue tie-dye Crocs. They're the most obnoxious things you'll ever see in your life. Friggin' love those things. And I remember saying, I was like, these are so friggin' comfortable, but like, I don't even know if it's like, is it socially acceptable to wear red, white, and blue tie-dye Crocs all the time? Probably not. So I was like, eventually I'm gonna have to get myself a neutral color pair, like a navy blue or whatever. So that's what I did. Check these bad boys out. Navy blue Crocs. So friggin' stupid looking. Ugliest things in the world, but they're so comfortable. They're obviously waterproof. And they have all the holes in them, so they're super breathable. And if you're just gonna go for like a little walk in the woods like what I'm doing right now, they're a great shoe to wear. Super comfortable. Who was that? Somebody just popped in. Simple Hillbilly, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Welcome to the live Q&A. Saying, yes, it is. I don't know what that's in reference to. I don't know if that's agreeing that they're ugly or agreeing that they're comfortable or what, but He agreed with something that I said. And if you have any questions, feel free to toss them out there. I'll try to answer anything that I can. And I also had a question, or a couple questions, for somebody that was in the chat at the beginning of the stream. I'm hoping he's still here, or I'm hoping he comes back, because I have some questions for him regarding some things that he said to and about me a while ago, and I'd like some answers. If we'll go there, we'll go there. Hey, red, white, and blue tie-dye are good for any day, anytime. I absolutely agree. Maybe not for work, though. I wanted to get myself a neutral color pair, like these navy blue ones, because they're a little bit more discreet. But yeah, my sister did get me a pair of red, white, and blue tie-dye Crocs as a 4th of July present, like 3 years ago. She moved down south. Haven't seen her in over a year. Sucks. She told me the other day, for like the 7th time, she was like, oh, I might be moving back at the end of the year. I told her, I've heard that before. I was excited every other time he said it. This time, I was like, I'll believe it when you friggin' move. I'll believe it when you pull back up and you have a New Jersey license plate on the friggin' car. Hope she comes back, though. But she's mentioned it a couple times that she had a reason or two where she might come back. So who knows? I would love for her to come back, though. You know, my goal was always to move down south. She beat me to it. I always said, I love the idea of Florida, and I'm open-minded to Georgia, North and South Carolina. And then she ended up moving to North Carolina. But she might be moving back. And honestly, I still would like to move there. Preferably Florida, but any of the 4 that I just listed are okay with me. But the company that I work for now, as of the last 11 months, it's a Northeast company. So I can't exactly relocate down south. Just set up my 401k with the company. I set up my HSA with the company. So I am making a long-term commitment to the company that I work for. But I also told my boss that I'm not loyal to a company. I'm loyal to my goals, and it really doesn't matter to me what vehicle I use to take me there. I don't care who signs my check as long as I get a check. My boss and I were, worker to manager, but we're also, we can talk as, friends sometimes. I don't go to too much detail. Good 401k met 5%, and they toss $250 as an employer contribution to the HSA as well. So yeah, at the moment I'm only contributing 5% because, in my opinion, it feels almost irresponsible to not take as much free money that they're offering me as I can. So yeah, I contribute 5% and they match the 5%. So pretty much right off the bat, if you think about it, you're kind of seeing a 100% return every paycheck, or every contribution, which comes out of every paycheck, pre-tax. So it's more than what post-tax contributions would look like. But yeah, that 401k, it was just opened up like just a week ago. I finally became eligible, and it's open, and I either have to wait like 1 or 2 pay periods for contributions to start being made, but I do get a 5% match. So yeah, as of right now, that's what my contributions look like. I'm just contributing 5%. And next year, I'm going to go the rest of the year doing this. And I also just opened up an HSA, which I learned that I am eligible for as well with my company. And I am not on track to maxing that out. They tossed $250 in because I opened it, and they put $250 in the HSA every year. And I was like, all right, I'll make a $10 a week contribution to that because we're halfway through the year, and by the time the year's over, I will have matched their $250. They match my 5%, I match their $250 HSA contribution. But the more I think about the HSA, the better it sounds, just because it's triple tax advantaged. A 401k and a Roth IRA, which I have as well, by the way. I have both. I've had a Roth IRA for about 2 years now, and I've had a 401k for like a week. They're both tax advantaged in slightly different ways. But they're technically only, if you think about it, they're like double tax advantaged. See, there are 3 different tax advantages when it comes to different types of like retirement accounts and whatnot. One of which being investing pre-tax dollars, one of which being growing tax-free, and one of which being able to cash out tax-free. The Roth IRA only has 2 of those 3. You're not investing pre-tax dollars, you're investing dollars that have already been taxed. So right off the bat, you're losing 1 tax advantage. Don't get me wrong, the other 2 out of 3 are still phenomenal, but it gets to grow tax-free, and then when you're 59 and a half or older, you can cash out entirely 100% tax-free. 401k, on the other hand, you are investing pre-tax dollars, so that's a tax advantage right there. It grows tax-free, but it's tax deferred. You pay taxes in retirement on the gains on those pre-tax dollars. So once again, you're only getting 2 out of 3. Still phenomenal, still fantastic. But an HSA, on the other hand, triple tax advantaged. You get to invest pre-tax dollars. You can invest those dollars and potentially see tax-free growth. And then you can spend it tax-free as long as it's for something health-related, medical expenses. And on top of that, you don't even have to wait for retirement. I'm a young guy, I'm a millennial. But if I needed, if I ended up with a medical expense, I can use HSA dollars tax-free for it today if I needed to. And, paying for an ambulance, buying crutches, different types of procedures. Don't quote me on this, but I read the other day that dental counts as well. It doesn't seem like that would be true, but at the same time, it does kind of make sense. So I don't know about the dental related stuff, but health related medical expenses, you can spend those HSA dollars tax-free after you saw tax-free growth if you invested them on those pre-tax dollars. So it's triple tax advantaged. And right now, the maximum contribution is, I think, $38.50. And in the new year, from what I remember, I think it's being bumped up to $41.50, $4,150. So I don't remember the math off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure like a $75-ish contribution every week would get you on track to maxing that out. Now, I have zero enthusiasm about HSAs. I know they're triple tax advantaged, and I get to keep and grow more of my own money without Uncle Sam touching it. But at the same time, a health savings account. Oh, how fun, how exciting. Oh, I get to spend it tax-free on medical expenses. Woo! Not exactly exciting. But with it, being such a low bar to hit in terms of maxing it out, I'm actually thinking about maybe maxing out my HSA next year. Right now, I'm not on track to doing so, but I might bump up my contributions next year. I don't know. I want to go the rest of the year and just spend the rest of the year calculating what more I can do next year. Because right now, the only thing I'm maxing out is my Roth. And next year, I'll see if I can continue maxing out my Roth and maybe max out my HSA. And if I can do that, and still have more dollars left over, I'm still obviously going to keep continuing to invest in my regular taxable account and potentially keep making contributions to my savings account. But who knows? If I can afford it, maybe I'll increase my 401k contributions as well, even though they're only matching 5%. Who knows? Maybe I could bump it up to 10%. So many different options. What did that say? Roth is best. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Roth. Maxing the Roth is a must. Yeah, absolutely. That is my number one priority. Which is funny because the order of operations in the finance world, it's different. I learned that the order of operations looks like this. Maximize, take full advantage of the company match. So for me, it's 5%. So step number one is contribute 5% to the 401k. Step number two is to max out the HSA, because it's easier to max out the HSA than it is to max out the Roth IRA. An HSA, it's just a hair under $4,000. The Roth, it is $6,500. So it's easier. It takes a smaller amount of money to max out the HSA than the Roth IRA. Once you maxed out the Roth, or once you maxed out the HSA, then you max out the Roth IRA. And if you still are financially blessed enough to have more money left over to invest, then you go back up to the top of the list and max out your 401k. Instead of just contributing 5%, you contribute enough to equate to, I think, $20-something thousand a year, which who on God's green earth has the income to do that? I don't. I'm not even 100% sure if I'll be able to make 10% contributions. I don't know. I haven't even made my first 5% contribution yet. But I just want to calculate these things. I want to experiment, because you can raise the bar, but then you can also lower the bar as well, So at the moment, I'm going to finish out the rest of the year. Where my Roth will be maxed out. I'll be making 5% 401k contributions. And at the moment, only $10 a week HSA contributions, because that'll be enough to match what my employer put into my account, $250. I'm also, at the moment, my 401k, the way it's structured is it has a target retirement date, and that's what the 401k is going to look like. But the HSA, as of right now, my HSA is cash. And I'm just trying to determine the best ETF or mutual fund to put my HSA dollars in. Market's up right now, so I don't mind taking the time or taking my time figuring out the best move. Should I go with an ETF that tracks the S&P, or should I go with a mutual fund that tracks the S&P? I'm more familiar with the Vanguard S&P, but my HSA is through Fidelity, and Fidelity has their own S&P tracking mutual fund, which technically has a slightly lower expense ratio, which sounds pretty good, but at the moment, I've never invested in mutual funds before. I've only invested in exchange-traded funds and index funds. So it's a little different. Same thing pretty much at the end of the day, but it is different. It's a good plan if you don't want to touch anything till you're 60. Yeah, no, I don't plan on touching anything until I'm 60. The only thing that I plan on touching beforehand is what's in my regular taxable account. And it generates dividends and whatnot. And I've never spent any of the dividends. I reinvest every penny, and I continue adding more every week. Technically, I do it every day. So So that's not really something that I can escape. I mean, I could sell the whole friggin' thing and start pumping it into, the Roth every year, I guess, if I wanted to shelter it. But at the moment, my dividends are taxed, but they are taxed at a much lower rate than I would be if I was making those dollars through active income, which is funny. So even though it's a taxable account, it is tax advantaged to a degree because you're paying a smaller amount in taxes than you would be if you were to make the same amount of money at work, which is crazy to think about how that's even possible. It's like, if you make, and I'm going to highball it here, I am not making anywhere near a livable amount of money through passive income. Not yet. Give me a couple years and then we'll talk. But right now, super part-time money. But imagine I was making $50,000 a year in dividends. You pay less in taxes on that $50,000 a year in dividends than you would be from your $50,000 a year job. How crazy is that? You get to keep more of your own money if it's investment money than the money that you break your friggin' back for every day. 5-6 days a week, 40, 50, 60, 70 hour weeks. You break your friggin' back, literally. You sustain physical injuries at work sometimes, depending on what type of job you have. And the government takes more of your money than if it were passive income or if it were capital gains income or interest income. How crazy is that? The tax code was written by investors for investors. So become an investor. VOO or SCHD, I would recommend. I do the same. Drip everything. Yep, every penny. VOO, very familiar with VOO. It's a huge portion. It's actually 40% of my Roth IRA, and I would like to grow my position in my regular account to making VOO about 40% of my main portfolio. I want the S&P 500 to be the backbone of absolutely everything I do investment related. SCHD, I've never touched SCHD. I'm more of a VYM kind of guy, which I know they're similar. They're high yield ETFs, and I know SCHD has a slightly higher yield. I think they have the same expense ratio. And also SCHD, not only does it have a slightly higher yield than VYM, but it has performed just a hair better from what I remember, which begs the question, if it's performed slightly better and it has a slightly higher yield and the same expense ratio, why do you prefer VYM over SCHD? And for me, it's because of the the exposure within it. VYM has a dramatic amount of more holdings than SCHD. So if you prefer an exchange traded fund with higher concentration versus lower concentration, like not one's better than the other. It just depends on what you're looking for. It made more sense to me to go with one that has a little bit more exposure, larger number of holdings. Why I started investing, the tax breaks, insane. Yeah, it's crazy. Just saying it out loud to me, like it sounds illegal almost, doesn't it? Like, it's like, man, how do you like? And by the way, same goes for business and like real estate and stuff like that. The things that you can write off on your taxes. See, a lot of people frown upon people that are still stuck in that that fear mentality. You know, a rapper once said it. I don't remember what rapper said it. I don't keep up with rappers, but a rapper somewhere down the line once said, "Scared money don't make no money." And it's true. A lot of people are afraid to invest their dollars or to even leverage their dollars to create more dollars because they don't understand how it's possible, or they don't think that it's going to work for them, or whatever. But fact of the matter is, you know, and a lot of people, they're so afraid of debt. They think all debt is bad debt, which is a lie. It's not true. There is bad debt. Bad debt does exist, but there's good debt as well. For example, a mortgage for a rental property where your tenants are paying the debt off slowly but surely for you, that's good kind of debt. Or if you apply for a business loan and you're paying interest, the interest that you pay, you can actually write off the interest, and same for real estate, from what I understand. You can write off the interest that you pay. You can write off repairs. You can write off equipment. You can depreciate the property. You can fix the plumbing issues, fix the roof. You can write that off on your taxes as well. But if you're a regular average Joe and you need a new roof, you have to pay for that 100% out of pocket, or get a loan for it, pay the interest on the loan, and write off 0% of it. You can't write it off. That's a personal expense. But if it's for a rental property, if it's to generate, rental income, if it's a business, you can write it off because they want you to grow it. They want you to become. See, that's what a lot of people think. A lot of people have that victim mentality where they're like, oh, the government's against us. Oh, they want to suppress us. No, the government wants you to become a real estate mogul. They want you to become like a massive, massive mega millionaire. They want you to turn your small business into a big company and eventually turn that into a massive corporation. That's what they want. You know why? Because number one, you'd be creating jobs. First and foremost. Two, you're building something up. The bigger you build something, I know a lot of people think this sounds like a bad thing, but the more money it's making, the more taxes you're going to pay. They don't want your little small business taxes. They want your massive corporation taxes. There's payroll tax. There's this kind of tax. There's that kind of tax. Where on your end, you can write that off. That's a business expense for you, but it's putting a lot of money in their pocket, which is a good thing. Well, I mean, in their eyes, it's a good thing. And three, you're creating jobs for people. You're employing people. Or if you're on the real estate side of things, you're putting a roof over someone's head. That person that you're renting out a room of a house or a floor of a house or the entire house for, there's like a small possibility that they would be homeless if you didn't do what you did. You're doing a good thing. That's a net positive on society. Investing your money, building businesses, and owning real estate is a net positive for society. The richer you get, the more money you make is a net positive on society. We need more rich people, not less. And right back to the victim mentality that a lot of people have. I posted on Twitter the other day, or I guess now it's called X. I guess. I don't know what Elon's doing. He's rebranding Twitter as the letter X. I guess. I don't know. But I put on Twitter the other day that people with the victim mentality, they'll see that like a rich person hired a personal chef. How dare they hire a personal chef? You know how entitled you'd have to be to have a personal chef? You can't cook your own meals? Blah, 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 blah. Imagine being so rich. Imagine being too rich. Well, I'm too good to cook my own food. Well, guess what? That's what victim mentality people say. You know what smart people say? They say congratulations to the personal chef for getting that job. Good for you. You got yourself a good job. Man, you became a chef, you worked your way up. Now you're the personal chef for this successful whoever. That's a good thing. And good on the rich person for providing that person with a job. If you ask me, how dare you advocate for that personal chef to lose their job? Oh, they shouldn't have a personal chef. Well, that personal chef should have a job. Should they not? Oh my God, so entitled. They have their own, they don't even drive anymore. They hired a driver for them. Good for the driver. That driver was given a job. Oh, Floyd Mayweather can't walk around without security. Good for all those security officers. See what I'm saying? Victim mentality versus, like, I don't know what else you would call it. Normal person mentality, smart person mentality. I don't want to pat myself on the back and be like, oh, I'm so smart because I think this way. No, I just don't know what else to call it. The other way is like victim mentality, poverty mentality. Oh, I can't work more than 15 hours a week because then they're going to raise my rent. And somebody told me that at work the other day. I was like, well, if you make more money and they raise your rent, you're making more money. So can't you pay the higher rent? What's the difference? You're going to like allow yourself for the government to restrict you to 15 hours a week? You could be working 15 hours a week forever. What are you doing with the other 25 hours a week? You're sitting at home. You're going to let somebody, you're going to let the friggin', man, of all people to allow to push you around, you're going to let a politician tell you, hey, make the bare minimum and do not strive for more. And as a reward, we'll give you cheaper rent. No, screw that. Screw that. Come on, man. Now, I understand that there are people out there who truly need help if they're physically incapable of doing certain things or they need assistance. I get it. But there's so many people out there, they don't need help. But they're being kept down. I was like, you don't see that? You don't see that that's an anchor attached to your leg? It's like a ball and chain, man. Like you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. You can't strive for more. You can't shoot for success. You're not even allowed to try and fail. They say, no, do the absolute bare minimum, no more than 15 hours a week. We don't want you making too much money. If you make less money and stay home and don't, like, strive to be successful, or just at least utilize your potential, do the bare minimum and we'll reward you with slightly cheaper rent. And if you work more than 15 hours a week, we're going to punish you by raising your rent. You don't see how that's manipulative? That's wrong, man. That's messed up. That's a mean, cruel thing to do to a person. Tell them that they're not allowed to strive for more. What you should be doing is giving them assistance with an expiration date. Hey, you have 6 months, you have 12 months to get up on your feet, get a full-time job, make more money. We'll help you out until you get there. And we're giving you X amount of time to prepare yourself, a fair amount of time. And then, we'll help you get back up on your feet. And then you fly away, and then we'll help the next person who needs some help. I'm okay with that. I'm not anti-assistance. There are a lot of people in the world who need help from time to time. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There is nothing wrong with accepting help from others, even if it's from the state. But if you're able, then, put an expiration date on the help. Yeah, you got this, this poor woman. She's restricted to only 15 hours a week, and she's going to be doing that the rest of her life. You want to be 90 years old still working 15 hours a week because, I don't want to get my rent raised? Come on, man. Break free of that. That's something that a manipulative spouse would do. Corner you like that. And these people fall for it, man. That's not fair. That's not fair to do to a person. You just got a million people all working little, part-time jobs, and they're like, oh no, I can't go over a certain amount of hours. I can't, offered me full-time. I had to turn it down because I can't do it. No, come on, man. Make more money. Oh, but my rent will go up. Yeah, but if you're making more money, you can pay for the higher rent. Come on, man. People don't see that. That's an abuse. It's an abusive relationship. That's exactly what it is. Which is exactly why people stay in abusive relationships, because they're afraid to leave. Except in this case, it's an abusive relationship with the freaking government. Anyway, I don't mean to go on a whole thing there, but come on, man. Don't let a politician tell you to strive for less. You'll be punished for being ambitious. Come on, man. We're stronger than that. Sorry, I was on a thing. I didn't realize people were popping into the chat. Hello, everybody. Rentals are great. Debt and tax breaks. Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Although I'm not in real estate just yet, but I aspire to be. Silver Lumberjack, welcome. Mykie, what is your plan once you achieve financial freedom? I'll answer that in just 1 second. Paulie's, welcome aboard. Good afternoon from Illinois. Welcome to the stream. My plan for once I achieve financial freedom, to be honest, I don't have a materialistic bone in my body. So when I achieve financial freedom, my life would probably look almost exactly the same as how it looks right now, except I probably wouldn't work 6 days a week anymore. I would probably just work my required 5 days. See, at my job, you have to do your 40 hours, obviously. And for us, Sundays are an optional work day. And in order to incentivize you to work on Sunday, they give you Sunday pay, time and a half. And it for me, it feels financially irresponsible to not take advantage of that for as long as I can. But when I reach financial freedom, which should also, by the way, be called time freedom, what happens when you reach financial freedom is the same thing as what happens when you reach time freedom. You choose to do what you want to do with your time. And one thing that I would choose to do is keep working. I like working. I love my job. I like the company that I work for, and I like doing what I do. I wouldn't retire young. I wouldn't retire early. I'd still clock my 30 plus years. But I probably would opt out of the optional Sunday. That's probably what I would do. So I would have normal weekends, like how, normal people do. Most people work 5 days a week. I choose to work 6 for the extra money. And with my time, I would probably just spend, more time outside. Like what I do, I'd probably go for more, I'd probably go on more adventures. I'd probably do more camping. Right now, I try to camp as much as I can. And I'm pretty much doing just, one night every 2 to 3 weeks. A little bit of car camping sometimes. Where I'll go the night before my 1 day off. That way I can wake up on my day off and have the rest of that day to do what I need to do or do what I want to do. So I do that once every 2 weeks or once every 3 weeks. But when I reach financial freedom or time freedom, I would probably do that a little bit more often. Spend more time outside. And just adventure more. See what's out there for me. And meet new people. Try new things. Have more experiences and just be out there more. And I would probably do what I originally set out to do years ago. I still haven't done it, but I want to one day. I want to buy a cargo van. There's all this space in the back. I want to buy a cargo van like that, and I want to just convert it into a minimalistic weekend camper. So that's what I would do with my time freedom. Turn that into a little project, pretty simple project. Probably the toughest part is, finding the right cargo van and acquiring it. But after that, probably document the journey of turning it into a weekend camper. Which, to be honest, would probably be complete in like a week. Because I wouldn't do a full-on build. I would just buy a friggin' cot with a mattress pad or something like that, toss it in the back. Probably buy one of those like plastic, those like, it almost looks like a small dresser. It's like a plastic drawers. I'd probably just buy something like that, just to, fill it up with some clothes or whatever. Maybe buy another one for some supplies. probably get myself a secondary Berkey water purification unit mounted into the back. Get myself maybe like a Yeti cooler or something like that, or something that can, hold ice for like a week. And live in the van part-time. Continue working my full-time job, living my life the way that I normally do, but also on the side, I live in this cargo van and explore and adventure. That's probably what I would do with my time freedom and financial freedom. See, I don't have any real desire to do anything extravagant. I don't have any like materialistic goals or anything like that. I just want to adventure more. That's really all I want to do. Next bench I approach, I will be making a pit stop, drink some water. There should be one coming up soon. I'm curious, everybody in the chat, what would you do with your financial freedom or time freedom? What would you do if you got to the point where you're generating enough passive income to say to yourself, I could quit my job if I want to. I could resign today. I can fire my boss. Would you quit? Would you retire early? You still have, full-time income coming in. Would you quit? I personally would not. I used to always say I could see myself stepping down from full-time to part-time, which who knows? In another 10, 20 years, maybe that is what I'll do. But I really do like my job. Finally a bench. I can't see myself going from full-time to part-time at this moment, not at least. I'm in the financial freedom forest right now, man. All right, time to hit the road again, or hit the trail. So I filmed 5 videos today before I decided to go live. I filmed 2 camping supply videos. I ordered 4 things on Prime Day, Amazon Prime Day. It's a 2-day sale where everything's like 15, 20, 25% off. Massive blowout sale for 48 hours. And I had some stuff in my shopping cart, camping supplies. So I bought them all on Prime Day. Massive discount on all of them, and normally I get 5% cash back by making Amazon purchases, but on Prime Day, they usually give you 6% back. So not only did I get everything for a huge discount, but I got 6% cash back instead of 5%, which is awesome. So I brought this big Amazon box, and I did an unboxing and a quick review of the 4 items inside, and then I also bought something separate off of Amazon, another piece of camping equipment, so that got its own separate video. Then I filmed a silver video, primarily focusing on the silver Kraken, which, by the way, speaking of silver, we had somebody in the chat at the very beginning of the stream. If he is still here, I have some questions for him regarding some stuff that he said about me in the past. But I filmed the silver video, the silver Kraken. I filmed a video about saving money, and I filmed another video talking about how to at least begin improving your physical, mental, and financial well-being. All 3 are important. Equally important. And each one that you strengthen helps strengthen the other two. So it's like this back and forth type of effect, where if you improve your physical well-being, it's going to improve your mental well-being, which you can then utilize to help improve your financial well-being, which, coming around full circle, helps improve your mental well-being, which you can then use to help improve your physical well-being even more. So it just, all three of them bounce off of each other and elevate each other, and it's just like this, it's like a ripple effect or a snowball effect in order to improve your physical, mental, and financial well-being. So that was another video that I filmed today. So I filmed 5. 2 camping videos, a silver video, a savings video, and then that other type of video. So yeah, let's see if we can get some more Q&A questions in the chat. I've been live for an hour now. Wow, it's been an hour. That means I've been outside for 5 hours. Fresh air, sunlight, exercise for 5 hours. So yeah, let's get some Q&A questions. I'm exhausted and I'm starving, so I don't think I'm going to be streaming for a crazy amount longer. So let's get some questions before I can't take this heat anymore. This part of the trail's arguably the nicest. Look how much sun there is. Just little specks of light. It's so shaded over here. Like, it's so shady over here, it's actually not even warm. It's actually cool. Best part of the trail. Nice little break from the heat and the bright light. The sun, I should say. What's that giant light in the sky? Any Q&A questions we can get in the chat? Anybody wondering anything? It doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be a financial question if you don't want it to be, but just picked up a 10 or a Wolf. Welcome to the stream. Just picked up a 10-ounce Atmex Fine 9 bar under 265. Nice, not bad. Averaging less than $26.50 per ounce, premium included. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I do not have an Atmex bar. I have Sunshine bars, the Bull bar, Westminster bars, Monarch bars, a 2-ounce and a 3-ounce poured Monarch bar. They look like little bricks. They look awesome. The 3-ounce one is a little bit flatter, and I got it around Halloween time because it reminded me of a tombstone. And the 2-ounce is, it's so thick, it's almost a cube. It's not. It's but that's how thick it is. It's such a thick bar, it's almost a cube, which is awesome. A little brick of silver. Pretty cool. Actually, just the other day, I typed in on eBay, I was looking for a 5-ounce version, potentially next, which I may or may not get. Not really as focused on that side of things as I used to be. But if I stumble upon a cool piece of silver, I'm not against picking it up. I'm just not stacking the way that I was. Every now and then, if I find something cool, I'll get it. But I'm not actively or regularly stacking for weight at this time. And I would still like to get a 1-ounce Gold Buffalo one day, but that can wait. That's a pricey piece of wealth. Converted to a gold IRA and was not happy with the price per ounce. The fee storage kind of ripoff. Yeah, that's not a thing for me. See, another issue I have found within the stacking world is that a lot of people tend to stick to metals while stepping out of the metals. So a lot of people will go and, like their version of diversifying outside of precious metals is to go and invest in a precious metal company or like a silver ETF or something like that, which like you're stepping out of precious metals and right into more precious metals. It's different. So I personally have zero interest in a gold IRA. I have no interest in investing in precious metal companies or silver gold ETFs. I'm not interested in paper silver or paper gold. That's not my thing. If I'm gonna buy silver or gold, it's going to be physical silver or gold. But even that right now is not my number one priority. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about gold IRAs. The only thing I know about them is that they're not for me, and I don't really fully understand how they are for other people, because yeah, it's way more expensive to do it that way. Yeah, all the storage fees, there's like a premium on top of the premium. It's weird. By the way, if you're watching and if you can hit the thumbs up button, I'd appreciate that. It doesn't cost any money, and it doesn't take more than a millisecond. Let's go over here. See, I don't want to complain, but I hate this. This is freaking ridiculous. And I always say, I'm going to come back with a bag, like a plastic bag or whatever, and pick some stuff up. I said that last time, completely forgot. I forgot to bring one this time around. But yeah, there's a thing where they say, leave it better than you found it. So if you're going to go to a park or to a trail or the woods or something like that, you should pick up like 10 pieces of garbage. And what bothers me is that there shouldn't even be garbage to pick up. People are just friggin' filthy, man. We live in... God. People are zoo creatures. It's disgusting. Like friggin' bottles and friggin' candy bar wrappers all over the place. Cigarette butts. People are filthy, man. Anyway. I love the little chunky Monarch 2-ounce bars. Yeah, that's the one that I'm talking about. It's like a little silver brick, and the 3-ounce version is obviously an ounce of silver more, but it's flatter. It's not this block of silver. It's flatter, and to me, it kind of resembled a tombstone, so I got it around Halloween time. I will sit on that gold IRA for the next 7 years, so the hope is gold is 4K by then. Why 7 years? What's the 7-year? What does that mean? Oh, is that 7 years till 59 and a half or something? Or 7 years as your target retirement? Yeah, I don't know if the 7 years is something you came up with, or if there's or if that leads you to a certain thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, hey, in your case, for you, I hope it is 4K by then. I'm not overly bullish on them anymore. I do think that they can continue to be a potential excellent store of value, but as for capital appreciation, it's not my first choice. Yes, 59 and a half. Got it. All right, that makes sense then. A gold IRA. Yeah, it's an interesting way of doing things, and if there weren't so many fees involved, I think that they would be more attractive to more people, but it's made out to be so expensive. Like it's almost like an actively managed fund where the expense ratio is like quadruple what it needs to be. Now, I get it, an actively managed fund, having like a crew of people pulling and removing and swapping out and adding new holdings to this fund and balancing it the right way. I mean, like, there's a good chance where they know what they're doing more than the average person knows what they're doing, which is true. They stand a far better chance of managing a fund than the average person, sure. But if you just stick to broad market index funds with low expense ratios, you should be great. I think this might be the last lap I do. The hunger's getting to me. Still got a little bit of a ways to go before I get to the end, though. Yeah, for me though, gold IRA, not for me. It's never been for me. Never tried it out. Never really put a whole lot of thought into it. I just know that it's when it comes to gold, I'd rather have like the actual gold. I'm enjoying the personal chat, brother. You are a reasonable, common sense person, and I like that. Good head on your shoulders. Love the van idea. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I try to take a logical, objective approach to absolutely everything that I do, because it's very easy, especially in today's world, to fall victim to your own bias. And I see that it creates walls for people that shouldn't even exist. There are a lot of people that create their own limitations and roadblocks and friction. People are afraid to step out of their own comfort zone, as was I. But I was taught at a young age, I think I was like still a teenager, to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I've been running with that ever since. So I try to take a reasonable, logical, unbiased, and objective approach to absolutely everything that I do. And it's difficult because there are a lot of things that go on. It's also been a little bit of an issue for me as well. I'll have, somebody, whether it be like, I don't know, like my sister or like a friend or somebody, they present an issue that's occurring in their personal life, and I'll respond with like statistics and be like, no, like it's this, and they're like, I understand that, but on a personal level, it's different. So I'm like, all right, let me try to figure this out. Let me try to talk to my companion. Let me try to talk to my family member instead of being too over the top objective. Because some people are looking for a more specific answer, or even a non-answer, but just a response that's a little bit more catered to them. That's something I'm not very good at. But yeah. But yeah, I try to be reasonable, try to be objective. I try to see the bigger picture everywhere. Get the gold buffalo as soon as you can. I have physical metals as well, and the buffalo is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I definitely want one. I'm not overly enthusiastic about it though. Like it's hard for me. Like I know that I would really like it, but at the same time, I made a video a while ago saying that I was really tempted to get one. But I know for an absolute fact I would have what I like to call stacker's remorse, just because just at this time the metals just don't do for me what I need an asset class to do. And they're very, very speculative. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of like looking for something else at this time, or working on something else, I should say. But I would like to get back into it when the time is right. I don't know if the economy being in the place that it's in. See, the economy, when things change, I don't just change my method of stacking versus investing. It also affects the way that I do business. Like it affects, like when we're in the world like that we're in right now. I mean, like, for example, in my opinion, I think we were in a better place to be stacking back in 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, early 20. And I think at the moment, it's a better time to be investing. And very similar could be said about different things that I do. My old job, my old full-time job, was a better full-time job to have a couple of years ago in the sales and marketing world. But I knew ahead of time, and I usually know these things ahead of time. I can usually sense the right time to get out of something. I knew that we were on the brink of going into a recession, and I knew we were going to get to a point where consumer spending was going to be on a decline. And if I'm doing something that's a little bit more commission-based, and less money in the world is being spent, is that the smartest place to be? Probably not. So I swapped my full-time job with a new full-time job. That was one of the reasons I made the switch. Well, same could be said about what I do on the internet as well. I mean, here, in the middle of 2023, it's not really the greatest business model at this time to be creating online entertainment. There's less of a demand for online entertainment today than there was 2 or 3 years ago. Love and life, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Happy Wealthy Wednesday. Welcome to the stream. What state are you in? Almost look like the dog park in, oh no, I'm in New Jersey, believe it or not. I actually said earlier in the stream, I think it was before you got here, grew up in New Jersey, born and raised in New Jersey, spent my whole life in New Jersey with the exception of a small amount of time I spent in Pennsylvania. My goal all the way up until like a year ago was to move to either Florida, or most likely Florida, and I was open-minded to Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. That was my goal. I was like, I want to go to Florida, but I wouldn't mind living in any of those other 3 states as well. But the job that I work at, the company is it's a northeastern company, so I can't unless I wanted to change jobs. But I really like the company that I work for, and I like the job that I have, so I've chosen to not do that. My sister, on the other hand, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, she moved to North Carolina, and she might be moving back. Hopefully she's moving back. She's told me a couple times over the last 2 years, she's like, oh, I might be. And I got excited all those times. This time around, she told me the other day, and I was like, I've heard that before. I'll believe it when you move back. I'll believe it when you're here. So yeah, hopefully she does move back to New Jersey. You know, similar to anything else in the world, you can't have pros without the cons. You can't have good without the bad. And a lot of people have a lot of bad things to say about New Jersey, myself included. There are a lot of downsides to living in New Jersey, but one of the upsides to living in New Jersey, or just really the Northeast in general, is that there's more money to be made here. Like I know for an absolute fact that I would make more money by staying here than if I were to move down to Florida. There's more money to be made here. Up north is a more ideal place, at least in my industry, is a more ideal place to make money. And then that's why a lot of people move down to Florida when they retire, because Florida is a more ideal place to save money. You keep more of the money that you earn in Florida, but there's more money to be made up here, at least for what I do and the industry that I'm in and all that. So yeah, pros and cons. There are pros and cons. I'm a big Devils fan. You know, I grew up a big Devils fan. And it's not that I'm no longer a Devils fan. It's just that unfortunately, I just pay zero attention at this point. I also grew up a Giants fan, which, you know, I'm a little bit less proud to admit that. I'm not ashamed of being a Devils fan by any means, or growing up a Devils fan. But the Giants have, well, I guess the last 2 years haven't been so bad, but the 10 years before that haven't had the greatest performance. The Giants have underperformed in recent years. Hello from Puerto Rico. Campero, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wealthy Wednesday to you, your friends, and your family. You know what? I said before that I was on my last lap. I'm gonna do one more. But before I do, let me take a seat right here, take a sip of water, and then we'll hit the trail again. I'm out here in late July heat. Yes, I am shaded by a lot of trees, but I spent the first half of my day not on this trail, but out in a very wide open park because I wanted to film some camping equipment videos. So I was in a parking lot attached to a park, which is where my car is currently sitting. And now I have no excuses to move the goalpost anymore. Oh, I'm going to do another lap. Nope. I just finished my only bottle of water. So after this lap, we're done. Let's see. What's going on in the chat? Anything? Jets. I don't know about that. See, I did grow up a Giants fan. I did grow up a Yankee fan. I did grow up a Devils fan. The problem is, I just can't really bring myself to watch the game anymore. It's just, and by the way, it has nothing to do with the teams or the sports. I can't even bring myself to watch a friggin' movie. It's a problem that I have, although it's not really a problem. It's only a problem if you're around people that want to relax with you. They're like, dude, you need to friggin' relax already, man. How are you going on 5 or maybe even 6 hours at this point on your only day off? Hours and hours and hours and hours. You've been doing lap after lap after lap. You're walking. You're out in the heat. You're talking. You're straining your vocal cord. How are you doing this on your only day? I got too much energy, man. I don't know what it is. And it doesn't really work very well for me if somebody says, hey, let's sit down and watch a movie, because within 5 seconds I'm like, God, there's so many better things I could be doing right now. Draws people up the wall. People can't stand hanging out with me for that reason. I sent you 2 books of silver and gold. Hope you enjoy them. Oh, that's right. I have them. I made videos unboxing them. I spent more time with my nose in the gold book than the silver book, but yes, I appreciate them. Thank you very much. There was I learned a lot from both, but for me personally, even still to this day, there's way more for me to learn about gold than silver. There's a lot for me to learn about both, but I would say that I'm far more uneducated on the yellow metal than the white metal. But yeah, both books were awesome. Thank you very much for sending those my way. I forget when that was. I remember I made a video. I remember where I was. I was out here. I filmed the unboxing video out here on the trail, but I was up there where I was before, where I just took my last break and drank some water. I was up there at the top where I could lean over that railing and look down at the trail. I was up there, and I remember that. And I remember I had it in one of those grocery tote bags along with some other stuff. I don't remember when it was, but I remember exactly where I was, and I remember making that video. I remember filming the video. I remember what pages I was flipping through while filming the video. I just don't remember how long ago that was. But thank you again. Honestly feel the same. Don't watch anymore. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what it is. I just have, see, I understand people need downtime. Most people need downtime. Most people need to relax. Most people like to relax from time to time. Um, it might be a problem. It might be a personal problem of my own. For me, I interpret anything that isn't uh, highly productive as a form of me being lazy, and I just can't bring myself to do anything that isn't um, increasing productivity or isn't like uh, doing something to work towards something that I'm currently in the process of working on. Like for me, it just drives me up the wall. I cannot sit down and watch a friggin' Netflix show with somebody. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it because I don't even know what's going on screen because I can't pay attention to it because the only thing that's going on in my mind is that there are better things that I could be doing right now. And then I get impatient and I get frustrated and and what kind of relaxing is that? Like imagine trying to relax and becoming more frustrated than you were before. So it's not my form of relaxing. I guess my form of relaxing is just being outside. Maybe not, running around with a camera, but just being outside, getting away from people, recharging. See, I'm like I'm an extrovert 99% of the time. But the 1% of the time that I recharge in an introverted way. See, I'm loud. I'm in people's faces. Talk to so many people. I saw the video. Hang on, I'm in a brighter part of the. See, I have the sun beating on me right now, so I can't see the screen as good as I could before. I hit my goal of 500 ounces of silver. Now concentrating on gold. Nice. Congratulations on the 500. Now on to 500 ounces of gold. Easy peasy. What is your gold goal, if you don't mind me asking? 500 ounces of silver was the main target. What's your gold goal now that you're concentrating there? I worry too much, man. I gotta go somewhere not so bright. I worry too much about real world problems, and sports don't seem so important anymore. Everything is different now. Everything is very different now. And I'm gonna get back to that in just 1 second. I hike every Sunday. That's my relaxation. Yeah, see, I'm right there with you. I usually do it on a Saturday though. I only have 3.5 ounces of gold. Do you have a target amount of gold? And back to what Wolf said, everything is different now. Yeah, for me, I don't really focus on real world problems necessarily. Everyone I've ever met has called me the same thing, a workaholic. I don't believe that's necessarily true. I just really enjoy what I do and I try to do as much of it as I can. Same thing with fishing. If fishing is just something that you truly, truly enjoy, you're going to be out there fishing every chance you get. I just happen to like what I do. And my hobby just, is perceived by most people as just working even more. So I don't know if that's the word that I would call myself, but if somebody wanted to call me that, I probably wouldn't really disagree with them either, I guess. But for me, yeah, everything is different now. It's the world is just such a different place. Like I know we've bounced back, and I know no one's really, being like a hypochondriac anymore. And I know we haven't even heard anybody talk about COVID in like the longest time. So honestly, like it's almost as if it never existed. We've moved so far from that in the last year. Like we're so far removed from that at this point that it's almost as if it never happened. It's like ancient history at this point. So we're back to normal, quote unquote, but everything's just so different. I don't know how to explain it. I was trying my hardest to explain this not too long ago, and I couldn't figure out the words, and I still can't figure out the words, but it's just different is the only word that I can really use. It's the only word that makes sense. I just can't really describe it. It's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I care about things that I never used to care about, and I no longer care about other things that used to mean the world to me. And that goes for a lot of people as well. A lot of people can relate to that. The world is just in a different place right now. Like I was saying before, like the way, like I talk about it in a lot of my videos. I say based on what's going on in the world, what the economy is looking like, and what the near future holds, that's kind of where I reassess, reevaluate, and re-strategize what I'm doing in terms of, is it a better time to be stacking silver and gold right now, or is it a better time to be investing in the stock market right now? Based on what's going on, that's kind of how I go back and forth between determining should I be in wealth building mode or wealth preservation mode. But it goes beyond that. Like I said earlier in the stream, it affects how you do business too. It affects what your number one goal should be. It affected, or I believed that it would have eventually affected my job. So I completely changed professions, changed careers, changed industries, and I went and moved on over to something completely different. Has nothing in common with what I was doing this time last year as a full-time job. But it also goes for like everything that I do online too. Like now is just, it's like beating a dead horse. Filming, coming out on my one day off and filming a whole bunch of videos and then scheduling them to post, and obviously the analytics show that there are less people on the internet at this time. So it's like beating a dead horse. It's the effort that I'm putting in is it doesn't really make sense for what I'm getting out. So it just goes to show that there's a smaller demand for online entertainment at this point. So you're just kind of like exhausting resources doing it right now. And if it's a business of yours, it forces you to, once again, reassess, re-strategize if need be, reevaluate what you're doing, what you should do more of, what you should do less of. For example, with things that are going on right now, with us being about to move into August, I'm probably going to revert back to making YouTube shorts, the short form content for a little while, or at least more of that, until we get maybe closer to... then I'm going to re-strategize come like maybe October or November, and probably do a little bit of both. But hang on, a bunch of people. How you doing? Good. So yeah, it's crazy how, what the economy is looking like and how the world is behaving, even during different seasons. Like there are smarter and stupider times to be a YouTuber based on what season it is. Like that's a cold hard fact. Like it sounds stupid, but it's true. Just like for anything else. There's maybe the cold winter months isn't the greatest time for surf shop owners, if that makes sense. There's a reason that how many people go to tourist attractions in the month of April or something like that. All these places, vacation spots, they see the most money in the summertime and also in the winter time, because people try to get away from the cold winter months and go on vacation around that time. And a lot of people spend the entire summer going to these places as well. Middle of the spring or the middle of the fall people aren't really doing a whole lot of spending at hotels. So, you know, it's weird. So, believe it or not, there is a smart and a stupid time to be a YouTuber. Or maybe not stupid. There is a better and a worse time to be a YouTuber. There's a better and a worse time to be creating long form content. Like the last couple of months, it was probably, I wanted to get back into the routine of doing some like longer form content, which is why I've been posting like a lot of 20, 30, 40, 50 minute long videos, some of which were like an hour and a half long videos. It's because long form content and podcasts and stuff like that, they do well, but it's still not really the greatest time. It's summer. Summer is not a good time to be putting all of your effort into online entertainment because there are less people on the internet in the summertime. So there's a smart time to do long form content. There's a smart time to do short form content. I made a video a couple weeks ago or a month ago or whatever. It was titled something along the lines of how to make money online is changing or something like that. Where it was like an hour and a half long video explaining the difference, the true difference, not just in video length, but the true difference in the algorithmic performance between long form content, podcasts, or just super long videos and live streams, and short form content, little video clips and 60-second shorts. There's a difference. They have separate algorithms, and some perform better than others at different times. It's weird. It's almost like a website inside of a website to be doing YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And one, directs focus to the other, and the other one directs focus back to the other one. So if you're like a full-time podcaster or something like that, and you're not using YouTube shorts, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you kind of need to be doing both. But there is a better and a worse time to be focusing more attention on one than the other. There is a better time to take a step back away from the long form content and focus on short form. Just like on the flip side, there's a better time to be taking a step away from short form content and focusing on long form interviews and podcasts and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I am finally getting a podcast started. I am going to be filming very soon. And I found someone, good friend of mine, who's actually the friend that introduced me to the stock market in the first place. His name's Rob. He's going to be, at the moment, a reoccurring guest, and he could eventually turn into a co-host. So he and I, we're going to be doing it's going to be a finance podcast, but it's also going to be a lifestyle podcast as well, where we just talk about things that are just going on in our lives. He's married. He's been married for a couple of years now. His wife is someone that obviously used to be his fiance, used to be his girlfriend. They've been together for like probably close to 15 years. They've been together since they were like kids, basically, like high school sweethearts type of thing. A kid on the way. It's awesome. So, like the podcast, we're going to be talking about things that are going on, stuff like that. And I believe it's probably going to be a VIP Club podcast. So I'll be posting the podcast episodes over in the VIP Club, just as a bonus for the VIP Club members and stuff like that. So if anybody's interested, that link will be in the description. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting some podcast episodes rocking and rolling. And I imagine that when the kid is born, I might have a little bit of difficulty getting my hands on my reoccurring guest / potential future co-host, because he's going to be his hands are going to be full with having a kid and whatnot. But the goal isn't just for it to be the two of us nonstop doing podcasts. It's not going to be it's not going to be like a Batman and Robin type of thing. It's like I will be doing podcast episodes with a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. I will be doing podcast episodes with people that are they're like not finance people at all. Like my friend Rob, who I'm going to be doing the podcast with, he's big stock market guy, big time into sales, See, I was always more of the marketing guy. He was always more of the sales guy. That's how we, kind of got along. That's how we hit it off. Both highly interested in investing, even if it's just learning about investing. We're not, rich by any means, nor do we have the funds to do as big of things as we would like to do. But we're interested in those things. We're interested in stocks, metals, real estate, business, sales, marketing, brand building, stuff like that. So we're probably going to intertwine that with some real life lifestyle topics as well, things that are going on, work stories, family type of stuff. Like there's so much stuff that we could be talking about. But I will be talking with other people as well, people that are not in the finance world, people that are just, regular, average Joes. Like I'll be talking to, I'll probably have my sister on for a podcast episode, and we could talk about what's going on in her life and what her experience down in North Carolina has been like for the last 1.5 to 2 years. I'll be talking to just other people that I know who have different interests, and there's so many different dynamics, so many different points of view. My point of view is, I would imagine a whole lot different than somebody that's 15 years older than me, like a single mom who's 15 years older than I am, who's had a completely different story than I've had. I think the podcast could be really cool, just talking to real people about real things and questioning their and just learning about their real experiences and stuff like that. So it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. My original podcast idea was just to interview people and understand how money works in the field that they're in, which that will be an ingredient for sure. But at the same time, it's not going to be hyper focused on money. If I'm talking to somebody who is in the finance world, I would assume that the conversation is going to be more money focused. But the number one priority is just to talk to people and just, explore different topics and whatnot. And it's going to be, it'll be in the VIP club. And I'm looking forward to getting some episodes cranked out soon. And it'll be fun. It'll be a nice, refreshing change of pace. Never done podcasting before. I filmed a couple trial episodes just to experiment. This was back in like 2019 or maybe early 2020. That's how long I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do it for years and years and years. And my friend Rob, thankfully, he is right off the highway that I take home from work every single day. If I hop off of the highway, he's about not even 5 minutes down the road off of that like side street type of thing. He is quite literally, he lives right in between my house and my job, and he is right in the middle. So I can stop by. I usually the last couple of weeks I've sent him a text on like a Sunday when I'm getting out of work, because Sundays I get out of work a little bit early. It's an optional work day for me, so I'll send him a text. I'm like, hey, guys doing anything? And he's like, no, Sunday's the only day that we're both just kind of kicking back at home. So the last couple of weeks I've stopped by on Sundays, and maybe Sunday can be a day where we hit record for an hour, and maybe it could be the three of us sometimes, where it's me and him and his wife talking about things that are going on. Take care. Have a good day, brother. Wolf, appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful rest of your wealthy Wednesday. Appreciate you being here. So anyway, I guess in conclusion, since I did that final lap, and I said last time I was right here that I'm not going to move the goalpost and say, yeah, I'll do one more. No, I've been out here for 5, maybe even, no. I think I've been out here for close to 6 hours at this point. Filmed 5 videos, and I've been streaming for, I think, about an hour and a half, or maybe even going on 2 hours. Yeah, going on 2 hours. Good God. All right, let me get out of here. But point being is that a podcast is coming very, very soon, and I will be posting podcast episodes in the VIP Club, which is the name of my Patreon page. If you'd like to support in that way, you get early access to every single video that I post. None of the videos have any YouTube commercials, YouTube ads. This is like something separate off of YouTube. So a lot of people, they want there to be like an alternative to YouTube. They're like, oh, YouTube this, YouTube that. Join the VIP Club. It's isolated away from YouTube. The videos don't have YouTube commercials. And I post them all at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. So you have access to the videos 13 hours earlier than people on YouTube. So there's that. That's what the VIP Club is. It's just a way of supporting videos created off of the YouTube platform, and that's also where I'm going to be posting podcast episodes. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about that. If you'd like to support, if you want to check it out, I will be starting to create those podcast episodes in the very near future, and I will be posting them in the VIP Club. Right now, I don't have a set schedule. I can't guarantee that they will be weekly. It's probably going to be a little bit random and sporadic while I'm still trying to find my rhythm, but eventually I will. And it'll be a little bit more on schedule at that point. But right now, it's just going to be more of a trial experiment type of thing. But anyway, that'll be in the VIP Club, the name of my Patreon page. The link to that will be in the description. If anybody wants to support the channel, please hit the like button on this live stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. I have 2 YouTube channels. Please subscribe to my other one. I post little, random clips over there. Grab a DYDSS t-shirt. I'd really appreciate that. Get your free stocks by downloading Webull. The link will be in the description. Try out some G Fuel energy formula. That'll be linked in the description. It's all in the description. All resources, all links will be in the description. If you want to support, I would appreciate it. If you want to just tune in and listen, I appreciate that as well. So that's going to do it. Been out here for almost 2 hours on the live stream, and I was filming videos for like 3 or 4 hours prior to that. So let me get out of here. My vocal cords are pretty much dead at this point, and I haven't eaten today yet. I've been up since I think about maybe 6 in the morning. It's my day off. Been up since 6 a.m. Haven't eaten a dang thing, and all I drank was a little bit of water. So let me get out of here. It's a hot July day. Thanks everybody for tuning into the live stream. I would like to do more live Q&As from time to time. I'm not going to go overboard with them, but they are fun to do from time to time. So stick around for more live streams, more live Q&As. Think of some questions for next time. They don't have to be money related questions. They could be questions about things going on in your life, and you just want to know what I would do if I were in that situation. I've gotten plenty of questions from people about stuff like that. Hey, this is going on. How would you handle it? Those kind of questions are always welcome as well. Anyway, let me get out of here before I completely collapse and have a heat stroke out here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Don't you dare stop smiling. See you in the next one.